Hey, I'm trying something new. Bear with me. But this video ties in with a Substack post called "The Weight of Things," which I will link in the show notes for this video. But I'm not going to read the thing to you. What I wanted to do was a kind of companion, a video companion to these things. I'm going to try to start doing this with each post each week. So thanks for tuning in. Now, before I get started, make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all those things. But this week I'm writing about the idea of all this stuff that Kara and I have carried with us for years. We've been married. We'll be married 20 years this January. Quite an accomplishment, I think. Lots of ups and downs, but we've made it. And over the years, we've sort of gathered things to us. We've been very nomadic. We, on average, about every 2 years, we move, get a whole new place. Now, some of those years we spent in RVs, in the van. We sold our first house and downsized into first a small apartment so that we could kind of that was like our intermediary step into getting into a big, giant motor coach, like a 40-foot motorhome, and we stayed in that for about 3 years, and then we downsized. We got out of that into an apartment again for a while, and then we downsized again to a camper, a little bumper pull camper, like 19 foot, and then while we were in the camper, well, there was this whole pandemic thing happening, and so we downsized again so that we could have a bathroom with us whenever we were out and about, because you couldn't find bathrooms at that point. So we got into a van, so roughly 100 square feet, maybe less than that. I need to actually figure that out. But we spent 3 years in and out of that van, traveling the U.S. and enjoying ourselves. So there was a lot of downsizing happening there. But it wasn't necessarily downsizing, because what we were doing was just cramming all our stuff into storage units. And in the post, I think I pointed out that we had like 3 storage units, and we were borrowing one from her parents. I think it was more than that. I think we had like 4 different storage units at one point. And so when we built this house, we started building this house back in 2020. It took a couple of years for them to finally finish it. I guess we started in kind of the tag end of 2020, but it took more than a year for them to finally build this thing. And we picked everything out. We picked out all the flooring, the finishes, the cabinets. Everything was a choice. And because we had so much stuff, we had these 3 or 4 units of stuff. We had to have a house that could accommodate all that. So we built a big house, 2,500 square foot. We got 4 bedrooms. We got a theater room. We got a living room. Our master suite is massive. And so what we discovered, though, was even with those 4 storage units of stuff, we had space to fill. So the living room needed furniture. We had some furniture for some of the other rooms, but my office here, I needed some things. Carol, for a time, had an office in one of the front bedrooms on the ground floor. She needed some stuff for that, so we ended up buying a bunch of like IKEA stuff and a bunch of other things, for storage. And if you've got storage, you need more stuff. You got to put stuff in the storage. So it was just an ongoing accumulation. And so, of late, the past couple of years, we've started moving towards downsizing. We're thinking we're gonna get back in the van for a bit, but it's really more about just kind of lightening our load and reducing our footprint. Both our physical overhead, the stuff that we have, our financial overhead. We think there's a lot we can do to improve. It's just the 2 of us and a tiny little dog in this house, in this massive house. So we're going to do the van life thing for a while. Kara's got a client in Pittsburgh for her interior design work, and so we're going to be staying at their place. They have like a guest house scenario, and we're going to stay there, Possibly, we haven't decided. I mean, things are kind of up in the air. Who knows? We're also looking at an apartment in the Domain in Austin. It just depends on how things go. But one thing is for sure, we are definitely downsizing. When we had decided to do this, I left shortly after our decision and went to an author conference called NINC in St. Pete's Beach, Florida. And there, I spent a week just kind of hanging out with authors, talking to authors, and other people in the publishing world. When I got home, Kara had already downsized some things, including my coffee setup. So I was not happy about that because I was looking forward to being home, right? And then when I get home, my home isn't there anymore. At least that's the way it felt. So at first, I was very resistant to this. But as time has gone by, we have continued to downsize, go through things. I know when you're looking in the background of this video, there's a ton of stuff back here. A lot of that is going to be sorted through. Some of it's going to be kept, and we're not trying to live like monks. We're trying to reduce the amount of things we have, but that doesn't mean we're not going to own anything. It just means that what we do own is going to be higher quality, more refined. It's going to be intentional. It's going to have purpose. That's the kind of thing we're leaning toward. It's been very cathartic to go through all this stuff, and I keep we have these 4 piles, and it's the sell pile, the donate pile, the discard pile, and then the keep pile. And of those first 3 they're supposed to be a one and done. Once it goes in that pile, it should stay there. Once it goes into the keep pile, though, we keep going back. We loop back to that one. And over time, I'm seeing that pile get smaller and smaller. Things that I thought I was going to definitely hold on to end up going into this donate pile. And we're finding out with a lot of our stuff. Kara went through all our Christmas stuff. And we had tons of ornaments and things. And a lot of that has, memory associated with it, nostalgia stuff. And she has cleared out a ton of that stuff. We went from having like 4 massive crates of Christmas stuff to basically like 2 crates. Like one of those is just the tree that we like to put up that's pre-lit and all that stuff. So, and then we've even considered getting rid of that, but we think we'll hold on to it for now. The point is, as we go through all this and we clear these things out, at first it hurt a lot. At first it was ego death, right? I kept feeling like, how do I do this? I don't want to let go of all my things. I don't want to, go without. But I started to realize as I went through things, man, some of the stuff I haven't seen in years, except when I'm moving it. And some of it, it's like rediscovering it for the first time. Things I didn't even know I had, or didn't realize I had. And I've got something in my pocket now. I can't really get to it right now, but it's a small bag that I realized would be perfect as a little tiny stuff bag. The little stuff that goes in my pocket. It's always bouncing around. I didn't realize I even had that thing. And other little tools keep popping up. So as we cull down, I'm also rediscovering things and putting it to new use. So that's been really interesting as well. So we're not just doing this with physical stuff either. We're doing this, we're taking a minimalist approach with our digital stuff. I'm culling through digital files and, getting rid of things that I'm not using. It's just taking up hard drive space. It's the same philosophy. So would I recommend this for everyone? Yeah, really I would. You probably, could stand to lose a few pounds, right? And I'm talking, in your household. But you don't have to be as extreme as we're being. Even if you just decided, okay, I've got that dresser and it's full of stuff that I haven't used or seen in years, and you just went through that and cleared out a drawer. Start with a drawer. What do I need these extra socks for? I haven't worn any of these socks. I'll donate these socks. Someone else will get some use out of these socks. I'm doing that with old computers and laptops that I've had sitting around. I've always held on to all that stuff just in case, right? This is a backup laptop, like everyone just needs a backup laptop for some reason. But what I'm finding is I was going to sell that, and I actually put some of that on like Facebook Marketplace. But I've decided instead I'm going to donate it to some families I know, some college kids, because they're not the latest and greatest laptops, but they work fine and can do a great job with a kid, starting off or whatever, or maybe a budding author or something along those lines. So that's the kind of thing I'm doing now. And I think ultimately we will still need a storage unit depending on what we decide to do next. If we get on the road next in the van again, we'll definitely need a storage unit, because there are things like that table you see behind me. That was built by Kara's grandfather. It's a drafting table that I've used as a drafting table and desk at times. There's things, all the things you see behind me really are pretty much things that we're definitely not getting rid of, because I need them for the next space. But it's going to be a lot smaller space. I think we'll actually be able to put everything we own into a space about the size of this office, whereas before we would have 3 or 4 of these offices. So that's quite an accomplishment. Anyway, the point being that this exercise of downsizing is very cathartic. It's helping me realize I've been carrying things with me that I didn't need to carry. And so I can start letting go of some of that stuff. And once I've let go of it, I'm free to bring in different stuff, higher quality. I don't want to replace what I'm getting rid of. What I want to do is replace the things even that I'm keeping with a higher quality version. But I want to be more intentional. I want to be intentional about what I have and what I'm using. And I don't want to just hold on to something just because. I don't want boxes, unopened boxes in my closets. I don't want things stored in the attic. I don't want any of that anymore. So we are downsizing in more ways than one. So anyway, thank you for tuning in. I hope you liked this video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all those things. And make sure you check out the full Substack post. There will be a link in the show notes below. And give me some feedback. If you like this kind of content, let me know. I'm going to do other things on this particular channel. This is my personal channel, but you can also subscribe to me on the Wordslinger podcast channel. That is youtube.com/wordslingerpodcast, and or go to wordslingerpodcast.com. That'll get you there too. And subscribe to me on Substack. So thanks. See you soon.